Liberty's Guardian, Guns and Ammunition, a family-owned business located in the heart of Ohio's hunting country. Let us help you find the right shotgun or rifle for you. Or if you're looking for a pistol or concealed carry, we have a nice selection of compact and subcompact pistols for that too. Check out our website at www.libertiesguardian.com. That website again is www.libertiesguardian.com. Go to the website and check out our selection today.
We all need to prepare ourselves. You might have the food, water, gold, and silver, but ask yourself, are you truly prepared? That's why you need to visit MaineMilitary.com. MaineMilitary.com carries everything you need. Gas masks, fire starter kits, high-capacity magazines, chemical suits, military surplus items, and much more. Do you own a firearm? MaineMilitary.com has a large selection of pistols and rifles suited for your needs. Are your local stores sold out of ammunition? Call or visit them today for prices on hard-to-find ammo and bulk ammo orders. You don't need to worry about having a military surplus store in your area because MaineMilitary.com is the only store you'll ever need, all from the comfort of your computer. Visit them online today at MaineMilitary.com. That's Maine, like the state, military.com.
I had a dream the other night that, well, I didn't understand. A figure walked in through the mist with a flintlock in his hand. His clothes were torn and dirty as he stood there by my bed. He took off his three-cornered hat, and speaking low to me, he said, "We fought a revolution to secure our liberty. We wrote the Constitution as a shield from tyranny. For future generations, this legacy we gave. In this, the land of the free and home of the brave. The freedoms we secured for you, we hoped you to always keep. But tyrants labored endlessly while your parents were asleep. Your freedom's gone, your courage lost. You're no more than a slave. In this, the land of the free and home of the brave. You buy permits to travel and permits to own a gun. Permits to start a business or to build a place for one. On land that you believe you own, you pay a yearly rent, although you have no voice in saying how the money's spent. Your children must attend a school that doesn't educate, and your Christian values can't be taught according to the state. You read about the current news in a regulated press, and you pay a tax you do not owe to please the IRS. Your money is no longer made of silver nor of gold. You trade your wealth for paper so your life can be controlled. You pay for crimes that make our nation turn from God and shame. You've taken Satan's number. You've traded in your name. You've given government control to those who do you harm so they could burn down churches and seize the family farm and keep our country deep in debt, put men of God in jail, harass your fellow countrymen while corrupted courts prevail. Your public servants don't uphold the solemn oaths they've sworn. And your daughters visit doctors so their children won't be born. Your leaders send artillery and guns to foreign shores and send your sons to slaughter fighting other people's wars. Can you regain the freedoms for which we fought and died? Or don't you have the courage or the faith to stand with pride? And are there no more values for which you will fight to save? Or do you wish your children to live in fear, be a slave? O sons of the Republic, arise, take a stand, defend the Constitution, the supreme law of the land. Preserve our great republic and each God-given right. Pray to God to keep the torch of freedom burning bright. As I awoke, he'd vanished in the mist from whence he came. His words were true. We are not free, but we have ourselves to blame. For even now as tyrants trample each God-given right, we only watch and tremble, too afraid to stand and fight. If he stood by your bedside to dream while you were asleep and wondered what remains of the freedoms he'd fought to keep, what would be your answer if he called out from the grave? Is this still the land of the free and home of the brave? God bless you. God bless Israel.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Evening Intelligence Report. I'm Mark Cornke. One day closer to victory for all of our brothers and sisters, both on and behind the lines in occupied territories, west, southeast, north, and south.
I'm here, Mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to us on libertytreeradio.4mg.com, Liberty Tree Radio on YouTube live stream, and we're on AM and FM micro stations, CB base stations, and ultra-net Hallmark and Golden Spike technologies east and west of the Mississippi, along with Alaska. And Larry, we got wind. First we had winds out of the south. Now we have winds out of the north. That's not good, but again, we've had a mix of bluster on and off the last 2 or 3 days. Got a lot of free firewood in the road because of that, which, of course, is going to be used in the fireplace progressively through the season. What's it like in your neck of the woods? What's the date today? What's jumping off the wall down there in the middle of the Midwest, sir?
17th of November, 2020 AD. Indiana's going into a cold freeze tonight, down in the 20s. I've had broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, kohlrabi, and cabbage outgrowing. And I've managed to keep it going covered in these chillier days. I don't know about tonight. It's going to be a cold one. It's down below 30 now. So I don't know. It depends on the evening. But I've grown a lot of stuff this year. Very good gardens. So we'll see if these pull through it tonight. If they do, we got another week of good weather here. Might actually get to Brussels sprouts and some cauliflower. What's happening? Gee, good cop, bad cop. You want pedo A or you want pedo B for Biden? So you get the Jeffrey Epstein pedo and you get the child-sniffing pedo. Both of them serve the Israelis, not us. And, gee, who's worse than the other one? They're both garbage. We weren't given any real choice, and now we're supposed to believe there's this huge dust-up with election fraud and everything else, which, okay. So you put one of them in, Israel wins either way. So I'm not impressed with what's going on. They're saying that this could ignite a civil war. If that is the case, I just want to remind everybody about the Prophecy Club prediction started by the communists in the middle of the country, and then while the country's busy fighting these scumbags, Russia, Cuba, Nicaragua, and other countries attack nuclear weapons. They hit the east and west coasts, come down to the north, and up through the south. That's been a standard Russian strategy for many decades. And they may be on the brink of doing that. If we get this kind of disruption in this country, they'd be stupid not to take advantage of the chaos. We've been bullies throughout the world. We've been prepositioning missiles and troops all over the place, encircling Russia. And they've about had enough of us. They have hypersonic weapons. They are ahead in that field. Their weapons can strike as fast as lightning. Our junk is just that, junk from the corrupted bidders of the defense industry, wiring harnesses from Mexico, et cetera, et cetera. Our Y-35 fighters are junk. Candidate Trump said he would abandon them. As president, he threw more billions at them, just like they all do. So I don't have any hope on winning a war against the Russians. And I'm not looking forward to this crap at all, folks. So the economy has been decimated by the fake COVID farce. If you looked up Event 201, you know this was planned. You know they did a practice run. But lo and behold, they did a practice run on election chaos, and the Israelis were involved with that one too. So on and on it goes into the abyss. Better be prepared as you can be. Food and water and munitions and talking to your neighbors. because it's about to get really interesting in this country, I think. Yeah, I'm not going to jump for joy if Trump gets in there. I'm certainly not jumping for joy for Biden. This country has been run by corrupt scumbags, I think, since they murdered JFK and installed Lyndon Johnson in there, who was off of the Israelis. USS Liberty attack, et cetera, et cetera. This country hasn't been right ever since. So we've had a parasite monkey on our back, and they're based in Tel Aviv. They did 9/11. They did Epstein. They are ISIS. They nuked Beirut. And these are the ones that are driving this country into the ground. So, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't matter which one they put in there. We're in deep trouble. Food prices are going up. Scarcity of food is increasing. If you're on the internet and want to see the details on that, there's a channel called Ice Age Farmer, if it's still up on YouTube. And he's been profiling for months the food supply going down. So, yeah, economy is not likely to rebound as more and more of these governors are talking about locking down over the fake COVID. So you have, we know they lied the first time. Hospitals were not filling up. They had fake morgues. People actually went into hospitals with cameras and filmed this. I recently took my sister to one here in Indiana, and it certainly didn't look filled up. So I would suspect they're still lying. The same people who lied to us about the wars, lied to us about Epstein, lied to us about everything, are still lying. So, anybody know anybody that's died out there from COVID? I don't. Supposedly a 99.9% survival rate. And they want you to wear masks, they want to force lockdowns, and they want to force a vaccine on you. No, no, and hell no. So I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm sure it will at some point. And prepare to defend yourselves, because they're coming at you with everything they got. Not seeing too many interesting news stories. They'd floated one where oh my gosh, they went in and attacked a German server. Well, no, that was more Q-tard type disinformation, just like, oh, they supposedly marked all the ballots with watermarks. No, that was more Q-tard disinformation. If you hadn't figured it out yet, Q is a psyop. Did Sessions get old Hilly Witch? Nope. Matter of fact, they're not even going to be looking into the Russiagate stuff. This investigator named Durham has dropped all pretense and dropped any investigation into doing that. They're not going to arrest any of these scumbags. You know, they're all in the same club, just like George Carlin said. So.
Well, what's cute about this is they're stretching the rubber band out. Something that we mentioned. Well, what's the date today, guys?
17th.
Now, when it was the supposed single benchmark date for the election, though there was no such a thing because we had 30 days worth of circle jerk committee of monkey cluster, puke, cluster PHUC. There we go. I think it's Vietnamese, right? It was a cluster PHUC. If you're not familiar with, do that phonetically and you'll figure out what I'm talking about. The Vietnamese talked about it all the time. You'll find that word all through, different postings in Vietnamese. And here, but with a different spelling, of course. Anyway, what's fascinating about this is that they're stretching the rubber band out while now, of course, more of the Republicans have flipped yet again and are going, we just need to put this behind us. Now, if I don't care either way for Trump, because we already know Trump's being, setting us up for the big shenanigan where, I couldn't believe Trump would do that. We already know that. It happened with the bump stock thing. Guys, one way or another, it doesn't matter which one gets in. They've already said they're going to come after the ARs. They're already coming after the AR pistols. 4 million of you out there are in the crosshairs right now with a 60-day fake reprieve. And this started with Donald Trump's ATF and Donald Trump's FBI. Not with Biden's FBI or Biden's ATF, because the person who's president right now is Donald Trump. And even if Biden had, won, first of all, have you noticed, Larry, you probably saw this, the office of the elected official. Okay, the news briefing that Biden had, and in the background, the office of the president-elect. Guys, that's something Bummer did years ago. There is no such thing. It's no office. You ran for an office. When you get elected, you aren't in the office until you put your hand up and put your hand on the devil book, because you're not going to put the Bible in there. They're not going to have that. They're going to have either the Rainbow Bright Queer as a $3 bill pedo, like maybe they'll probably even tongue-in-cheek put a big Bible book version of Epstein's visitation log, right? And they're going to put their hand on it, and then they're going to, give lip service to whatever. But that's when they have the job. There is no, the office of president-elect. There is no such thing. Okay? But the fact is that these fools have stepped up there like this in a situation where it wouldn't make a damn bit of difference what they're elected for, other than the fact that they can flap their yap personally about what they want. What they get is a totally different world. Piss on the SOB. Right up until the last minute, the present president can do whatever he wants. Bummer did. And Bummer did everything that he could to bollocks up or damage the country right up until the last minute. Right? Why would this be any different with whatever face or name they've got in the corporate presidential office, which is where we are now? An interesting thing about this, too, is, again, there's nothing that's a surprise about the malfeasance, the chicanery, and the lies, but it's typical for what you're going to see with the 2-year-old, in an adult body, mentally disordered creatures that make up, what are going to be our replacements if we let this happen, and they're not the majority. But these turds are the problem we have to get rid of. And what you can see right now is just the edge of things to come with regard to the insanity and the stupidity of people who have never done anything in their lives. They don't know how to build. They expect everybody else to do it for them, and then they're going to tell you how to, what to do or take credit for what you've done. That's all they can do. They don't know how to do for themselves. They never have. They never will. But the level of insanity that we've allowed to go this far, well, why not go for the gusto? That's what they're doing. I mean, it's our fault. We should have shot their ass several different times, and we'd be done and over this, and this problem would be over. In our system here, Larry, the middle of the day, and I understand they did this in one or two other states, they waited till the middle of the day and made the very critical public announcement that they closed all the schools. There was no face-to-face classroom, allowed anymore. So in the middle of the day, without any pre-announcement, like maybe you shouldn't have sent your kids to school, all of a sudden parents had to take time off and run over to the school and pick their kids up or make sure somebody was home because, well, they weren't going to be there until after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And so all of a sudden, no one could be in the schools today. Get ye out of the schools. Now, I don't have a problem with that because, as you and I both know, we call it the public fool system. So I think it's a wonderful thing they've done that, but it's a great excuse for everybody to keep right on going down the road. Don't go back to the public fool system. Oh, this is going to mess with their heads. Well, but they're doing two things. By bringing the kids back into the house, what's the purpose behind this, Larry? What do you think bringing the kids, our logic would be it takes you away from the school. But let's wrap our brains around this. What is the real agenda by having the children at home, but technically they're technically still in school? And as we've already seen, well, what do they do with that, guys? How do they use that to violate your privacy?
Yeah, cameras are peeking in your house with.
The socialist worker, the purple-haired, Trotsky glasses wearing, communist is going to come to your house with that Black Lives Matter, pig, the guy that, Blue Lives Matter, whatever, Black Lives, Blue Lives, doesn't make any difference. the character with the gun is going to be there to imply that they have every right not just to be on your property now, but they can be in your house because your house is an extension of the communist school system. Wow, we warned everybody about this, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Okay. Now, let's tie that in with something else. Larry, in Indiana, I haven't paid attention, and I know Dar's been here too. For you guys in Indiana, are they pushing the you can't have but so many family members over for Thanksgiving and Christmas?
I actually have not paid attention. I wouldn't pay attention to them anyway.
Right, I agree. Now, here's the thing. And everybody, let me help you understand the math of what they're doing here, because everybody goes, well, they're just trying to mess up the holiday. Oh, they're trying to do much more than that. If you're in the prison system, guys, I want any of you guys ever been incarcerated to explain to people prison, doing prison time and what it's like. Let me ask all of you, when you're in prison, do you think you can all just have a big pile of people in one place and everybody together when you have a prison, and you're in a prison setting? You have tables inside and you have tables outside, and either it's 4 or 6, depending upon the institution, that are allowed to be at each table. Any more, and either a selective person or the whole group can be hit with a ticket and can be even locked up right there on the spot. Did you know that? Now, I'm going to ask you, don't you think the communist pieces of feces that you're dealing with, like that kosher piece of crap, Fauci/Dr. Kevorkian, or all the rest of the excrement and filth that are pushing this, don't you think they know what I just said? Now, the cops know this, too. But here's the only thing they can... How are they going to enforce this? Number one. This is just the enforcement part. I'm going to get to another half, which is the real mind bend on this whole thing, and I mentioned it in the 2-hour block. But the first part about this is, so let's see. It's a holiday. Larry, do we have a lot of cops working on a holiday?
Not normally.
Not normally, but we have a new law to enforce. And we'll be able to come to your door and put our foot in the door and tell you that we have to come in and count the number of people in your house, comrade worker. So we're going to need more cops to have overtime and a special Thanksgiving task force. And a Christmas task force, comrade worker. Oh, I'm sorry, Tovarish Robotny. Well, Tovarish Robotny, we are going to come with our interior police in our spiffy black communist uniforms that the cops are already wearing. And we will have to... Bazizia Tovarishi. Do you have your papers with you? Oh, I'm at home. Yes, I know this is your place of residence. Is it? Well, no, my mom lives here. I see. Do you have other siblings? Oh, yeah, my brothers. I got my 3 brothers, and my 4 sisters are here, and their husbands and wives and their kids. Ah, good. Well, it is good that we have brought big bus. We have brought black bus to go with this. You are now all, of course, under state arrest for having violated the congregation policy thing. I don't care what they call it. It doesn't make any difference. I am getting paid a lot of overtime to come to your door and demand to know how many people are in your house. And then I get to write tickets. But first I have to carry many of you away. Would you like to select who is to go to jail? Wait a minute. Perhaps we can just take all of you to jail. And I must go into the house and see. I hope that none of you are hiding like in the bathroom or something. How dare you think to hide in the bathroom? We must take you all to jail and take pictures and fingerprints and also stick big swab up your nose so that we can give you a disease. Because this is America with a K, and we have these bitch communists who are in our state capitals and in Washington, D.C., who wish to turn you into one big prison. Now, on top of that, let's ask the other question. Let's go the other way with this. Larry, you're my brother, okay? Larry, how you doing, Larry?
Fine.
Larry, are you there? How are you doing, Larry? Are you okay?
Yep.
Okay, Larry, you know how we're going to have the family get together for Thanksgiving, Larry? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Remember how we were going to all get together? There's like 26 of us in the family that should be there because we always get together. Well, we used to get together. But, Larry, you know, Larry, I don't like you that much, Larry. I can only have 6 people over at the prison camp here, at the prison table. And that means that the commies figure that they can get a division thing going across the whole of the country because I have to pick favorites now for who will be at my Thanksgiving dinner. And Larry, you're not my favorite brother. I hate you, Larry, now. I hate you. In fact, I have to say, they've also told us I should make a public denial of you. So, Comrade Larry, I know you're my brother, but I deny you. And all of your family cannot come either, and do not show up. Don't show up. I would have to call the police and have you carried away, Larry. Because this is America with a K. Land of the free and the home of the slave. Thanksgiving, Larry, where only 6 of us can be at the prison table, and only the 6 I pick, and the rest of you can't come to the table because you're like postulating doormats. And I have to show hatred, appropriate hatred towards you, so I can disavow you, comrade workers. Does everybody see the agenda in the mind of the asshats that need to be shot out of our country? Here's another one. How about this one for you? Yeah, who's there? Mom? No, this is your brother. Mom, let me in. Well, what are you doing at the door? Well, it's Thanksgiving. I brought the candy. Hold it up to the window. Let me see. No, okay. Well, yeah, that looks really good, but aren't you gonna let me in, Mom? No, I can't let you in. The 6 of us that are special are here. But I don't know where to go. The kids are in the car, and Sally said you didn't say we couldn't come. Yes, I told you that we'd call the police if you showed up. We already had your sister arrested. What? Yeah, in fact, I tell you what, if you want to be useful, I know she screamed a lot when the cops arrested her and dragged her back down the sidewalk to that black bus they had. But if you want, you can be useful. Leave the food on the counter. No, leave it right there on the floor in front of the door. I'm not going to open it till you go, though. And if you could, we put a few dollars together. I'm going to slide. Hold on, I got the chain hooked up here. Take this envelope and go get your sister out of jail. I don't know what it's going to be. You have to foot the bill for the rest. Let us know later, okay? You had jail? Sally carried away? Yeah, and I've got the cell phone right here, and your ass is going next if you don't get off the front porch and back out to the car, and I'll have your family dragged away, too, because we don't like you. We used to, kind of, but not anymore. Land of the free and the home of the slave. Play ball. Do you think I'm joking about this? You don't think there aren't loons? Come on, people. Look at the idiot sticks wearing the face bras all over your country right now. You don't think that they haven't figured out they're going to find enough of those idiot sticks that are sucking on so much Prozac that their DNA has changed? Those asshats are the ones that are going to demand, Dad, you can't have them around. They haven't been taking Prozac. They haven't had their soma. And you didn't like them anyway. And we should write them out of the will because they're not communist enough, Dad. They're not communist enough. This is not a joke. This is what they are demanding right now. Now, you want to ruin my holiday? You're not going to ruin my get-together. But the spirit of this holiday has intentionally been undermined by a bunch of Jewish turds, a bunch of Jewish pieces of filth, a bunch of excrement who hate. They loved Halloween. Or you could get together. You'll notice what they did here. You could get together for all the witches parties you want with all the occult crap, couldn't you? But for that Christian Thanksgiving thing, this is part of that ongoing piss on America. And for the holiday of Christmas, oh, hell no for them. Well, actually, again, yarmulke no for you. Huh. Anybody see how this is working out? Now, personally, I think they just need to have their ass shot right out of our country. Period. And all of the discussions are rather fascinating, but I'm going to tell you right now, these jackasses are just doing this over and over again. And it's like, really? The longer you let this garbage go on, the deeper into this you're going to get. And we're still going to be shooting their ass. But I think the sooner we scrape them off the table, the better off we're all going to be. Everyone promoting this crap needs to be gone from our country. They need to be gone from life in general, and a lot of you will probably just do that, out of policy, but, just as a reminder, they need to be gone.
Mr. Corky.
Yes, jump in there, caller.
Okay, what you're saying there about Thanksgiving, just it'll be a start. It'll be worse at Christmas. And think about the all of the principals and all that sitting there with no students in the school, still drawing a salary and doing nothing but going to the gym and going to the country club. Think about that you're paying for.
Oh, you know what? There's no difference to me between the stinking hospitals and the schools. I have been, even if you're in a hospice, we can't get in, you can't go in there because of the risk to the employees. We walked up to this hospice, and the place is a glass palace, okay? Everyone standing inside had their mask off, and they're up leaning against the counter and talking to each other. And when we rang the door because everything's double, triple locked and everything's out. All of a sudden, the one coming to the door had the mask on, but all the rest of the Peckerwoods in there, they're all running around without a mask on. So obviously they weren't too concerned about the spread of the disease, but it's a great way for them to have an excuse to sit on their dead ass and do nothing. And the same thing is true with the scam with these teachers, which, by the way, are going to do nothing but promote communism in the school. So it's no great loss that you're gone from there. You need to apologize for being white. What was it? We just had one of the talking heads from, used to be with, I think, Fox News, okay? The female, blonde. And she's just announced that she's pulling her kids out of the school because now they're already in a leftist school. So I know what's coming. I've seen all this garbage before. But they're going to be properly reconditioned white people. They're going to recondition all these white kids. You know what? I say walk in, blow those suckers right out of their boots. I have no problem even saying it. I've seen all this before. I've seen all of their communist enlightenment right here in America. As far as I'm concerned, get rid of their ass. But that's me, okay? So don't you worry about it. But just, again, a case in point, we've seen this all before. But these pieces of trash are now going to sit in an empty room, pretty well picking their nose, dust bunnies collecting everywhere. We're paying for the glass palaces that they demanded. Basically what they got is a 30-person classroom office where they're all by themselves, and especially doing the computer, the fake, the by computer thing. The only thing that's doing, it has nothing to do with improving the conditions or maintaining the education. They are using it as the conductive tissue to bring the communist system into the home, because that's what they will demand. We saw something on the wall behind Tommy, and we don't like that. Who's the we? Oh, you're some little commie Peckerwood piece of trash / Antifa type, and Tommy's got an American flag and some play guns against the wall. Well, that's Tommy's room, not yours, jackass. But you know what? These bewitches believe that we're all their property. It's time to shoot their ass down because they think that.
Mark, I got another scenario for you to try.
Go ahead, jump in there.
Number 4 here. I want you to do your another skit, and the skit would be, I'm driving by, and Uncle Bob didn't invite me for turkey dinner, so I'm dropping a dime on him because he's got a lot of people there. And another skit would be, all these people family has to pile into the car and duck down and all go one car to Grandma's house so we can sneak in, so we can't show that we have more than 10 people or 5 people, you know. So people driving by.
Both of those are real, because people are going to desperately try to do that. The one where they're going to try and hide in the car, oh yeah, imagine how that one's going to go. You better hope you have a station wagon or a minivan, right?
Yeah.
Because
you got to smuggle your own people around.
Yeah. Wait a minute. And of course, well, here's how that would work. You know, Mom, what are we in the back seats for? Can't we sit closer up front? The heater's better up there. Shh, everybody stay spread out, dear. Johnny, what are you doing? Get your head down. Oh, it's okay, dear. We're not that close yet. Johnny, get down now. Mom, I'm not here. Feet stink. Yeah, I know. I told her to wash her shoes. You know how Margaret is. Oh, God. Just get your head down there and shut up. Okay, we're getting close, everybody. Now, everybody do what I said. Remember, we're playing war games. Everybody stay down because the bullets might get you.
Don't let the baby cry. We'll have to suffocate it.
Yes, and as they drove into the neighborhood from across the street, the window curtains cracked open. And down the street, 2 other houses, the windows cracked open, and there, out of the window, was a camera lens. And so, prearranged. Hold on, are you ready? Yeah, John, hold on, slow down. Grandma, you there? Yes, don't speak up too loud. I don't want the microphones to hear. Okay, Grandma, hit the electric garage door. The cars are out of the garage, right? Yes, everything's good. Shh, be quiet. Okay, John, she says it's cool. And the car backs into the garage. And the doors close. Everybody stay down, don't move. And then the door finally closes. And one at a time, the parents shuttle the children out, one standing at the door, the other one by the garage door, and looking outside, making sure that nobody can be seen over the fence and from a second floor window that might have a window screen open, or maybe a curtain that parts abruptly. And the children scuttle from the door of the van to the window to the edge of the garage, and then they run quickly and furtively, ducking down like they're under fire. Grandma embracing them one at a time and hugging them tightly, and realizing this might be the last time for a holiday that anybody ever comes together again in America.
And they noticed the neighbors were looking. The 2 twins stayed in the garage, and Grandma had to walk some chicken out there, a turkey. And the neighbor says, I know they got more people in that garage. I'm dropping a dime on them. They're taking food out to the garage.
Schmidlaw Police Department. I'd like to report somebody with people in their garage. I think there's more people in the house. What's the address, ma'am? We have a special task force. I've got a Jewish company here called Blatzenstein and Screw America. They've got a black bus. It's the same kind they used in communist Russia. And
also, Fred, since the school isn't using any of the buses, go down there and steal one of the buses, because we need an extra bus since the school isn't using them.
The school ain't using them. Yeah, but before we do it, we got to give it that 12-can spray paint job from the hardware. That's got to be black. Remember, you got to have the Kosi-Gori type, black buses, people. If you don't have those black buses, you're just not being Jewish communist enough.
It's got the ice cream truck sound, and on the side of it says, we're in this together.
Yes. Joy through being packed in like a sardine. Well, again, that's the thing about this whole, this is real. This is not like, it's cute. It's like Monty Python said. This is before we thought they were like jokes and skits, and the problem is now it's reality.
Yeah.
When we were only joking. We didn't tell you to take it seriously.
It's released the Kraken, because Reset 2 is coming.
Yeah. Well, the reset thing, you know what? I know exactly how to reset this, and I think all of America does too. Because what they're really saying is the thieving of America and the bondsmanship of our people, the indentureship of America, which has already been in place. We don't talk about the straw man or the whole scam enough, But guys, understand that this is the next logical direction that the banker turds would take to tell you that you are their property.
You sweep up the whole family, and they're gone, and there's nobody to cry and beat on your door saying, well, you took cousin so-and-so and Martha, but the whole family's disappeared, and nobody is the wiser.
And what's cute about it, because we have the corona beer virus scam tied into this, you can be disappeared for an indefinite period of time.
Yeah, and I love the blue line that makes us all safe. I don't care if there's extra empty houses in the neighborhood.
Well, yeah, because who is it that's going to enforce this, people? No matter what, somebody was talking about the different agencies that they're mobilizing this, but that's not so much relevant, because that's just the little Trotsky glasses wearing purple-haired Fruit Loop that says it's the sex of Guppy, okay? That's sexual orientation 68 or 70, I think. I have to double-check the number. But Guppy / purple-haired Trotsky glasses wearing clipboard carrying with also an electronic pad is going to be backed up by those stinking cops who are sucking up the overtime gravy.
Well, the new term is going to be called COVID swatting.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, it's like,
swatted by cops.
Well, again, the whole idea, like you said, most people who are probably going to be excluded are people who are like us, who really aren't so much going to care, but remember to stay the hell away from these fools that are doing this. This is where, again, in communist Russia or communist Georgia or communist Ukraine or communist Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary, take your pick, guys, East Germany, all of the Baltic states, this is the kind of stuff they were doing all the time. What's fascinating is, like I said, and where does this come from? Where does all of this come from? Last year at this time, you people were organizing at the township and county level, which they still are. My God, the armies that are being built right now, and the people that are willing to step up, that are, a combination of anybody, no matter who they are, but old veterans, new veterans, everybody is organizing on a massive scale to wage war against this regime, the government mechanism that is moving. And there's a reason. But a year ago, the impetus for this was in place with the, again, sanctuary, the sanctuary Second Amendment county township thing, which everybody argued they didn't like because it lined up with the commie thing. So instead they went with resolves or resolutions. And I told you back a year ago, the only option they'd have is to go to a fake biological attack. And I've walked everybody through this for years. You just had it happen. Look at what they've done. Look at what they've done. Now, understand something. It was a desperation card, and I said this, why it would happen back a year ago. Why? Because you have been successful, not because you are unsuccessful. Understand something. If you think you got an idea how well we were moving, understand the enemy saw even more of the picture, because you only get pieces of the information depending upon what we're covering at the moment. But their battle board had the whole country mapped out, and they know they're outnumbered. It's like the election. I don't care about Trump. There is no way in hell that this thing did anything other than a complete falsification with the election, period. I don't care about Trump. I don't care about Biden. They're both, both characters are still going to push us to the same point. But the idea that they did this so they can get the hyper-communist in-your-face in, we're going to have to shoot their ass over this. They're not going to back off on it. They're already doing the Republicans, which, again, who are these Republicans that are saying that we just need to, get on with it and just let the commies take over? They're the Epstein Republicans. Does everybody understand that? Everybody start calling them that. All these characters who are Republicans are Epstein, queer as a $3 bill pedos who either rape little boys or little girls to death. And that's the blackmail they've got on them, okay? They've got the blackmail on them. And that's why instead of sticking together as a party, which, by the way, the Democrats, as opposed to the Republicans, isn't it amazing? No matter who they have, they can do no wrong. Hasn't anybody noticed this? In their own ranks, they will back anyone, no matter how queer, how pedo, how Fruit Loop, whatever. But on the other side of the supposed fake-ass party called the Republicans, which, again, it is fake, guess what? They don't have I told you before, they don't have any spine at all, but especially since they are pedos and they are perverts, the leverage by the Mossad and the other turds from overseas is being applied accordingly, isn't it? And the Israelis and the Chinese are joined at the hip, people. They've been that way for since communist China existed, because they run communist China. That's the thing that really pisses me off, because I've been repeating this over and over again. Guys, if you really want to find out about communist China, here, let me help you with that one. No, Mark, it's the communist Chinese. Really? What was the name of the finance ministers and the banking cartel? Who was it that was running Mao Zedong's communist money system? Now, when you look at the Chinese, you think round head, dark hair, slant-eyed, pallor skin, etc., etc. Well, there's an ethnicity to them. When you look at all of you can go to Google and you find this, people. Go look at who the finance people were, ministers of that all-ethnic Chinese operation. They aren't Chinese. And they wear funny little small hats. And I ain't talking Cantonese small hats. Oinky vey. Oi, gewalt. And guys, you can do this by doing a Google search right now. And there are all kinds of party pictures in black, clear, silver tin, black and white, easily seen, phenomenal images of the grand party, congregation in the Great Hall. And there they are, right there, complete with the classic little, goatee thing, and the schnozzes, and I'm telling you, they got the hats on, and they don't look in place at all by your perception of communist China. But they are in place if you understand who the communists are. By the way, go look at the pictures. A picture says 1,000 words, as they say, right? Why isn't that a Chinaman running that? Why is it that, by the way, Biden, who is it that just started making mouth for the Bidens here from the Ukraine? Anybody notice that it's the guy who's not from the Ukraine? He's this Jewish character from Israel who plopped down back when they started the conflict with the fake election thing, just like they're doing in America right now. And they flew a whole clique of these Israelis in, and they plopped their ass down, being the feces birds that they are, and they took over and have stolen. The first thing they did is they stole the cash gold right out of the Ukraine and dragged it back to Israel. First thing. Well, gold's not worth anything, but boy, the feces birds suck on that first before they do anything, people. Now, that's the characters who are all flapping and yapping about how wunderbar the Bidens are. They are not Ukrainians. They're not ethnic Ukrainians. They are foreigners. They're a pack of oi boys from somewhere else. And that's the ones who were sliding the jingo over to the Bidens, which you're not supposed to think about. Oh, no, it's Ukrainian. No, they're not. They're not Ukrainian. They're not Ukrainian nationals. They're not Ukrainian-born. These are all parasitic feces birds that flit from one place to the other, stealing stuff from people. And the same feces birds are in motion right now against you. Difference? We're armed to the teeth. Difference? We also know that we're not going to worry too much about the organic sandbags, except they're on the list. But we do know what real list counts. Just like they think they're going to come in surging. Oh, they got their big plans with the black buses, FEMA camps, and all the other fun stuff, which we've mentioned. Well, we're at the point where you better point right at them and help them to understand. My fault, your fault, anybody's fault. Your ass is dead first. That's where it needs to be, and in fact, it is right now. God help them if I don't want God to help them. God will deal with them His way when the time comes, and I know where they're going. So we have a job, and all of this, this whole thing with there's no way you can fix this again. Okay, right now, even this, the holiday scam, you'll have people echoing. Even if tomorrow they overturned all of their BS, you would have these idiot stick neurotic hypochondriacs with paranoid tendencies wearing body condoms and throwing family members out of the house, or demanding they would be. They dropped all of that, Martha. I don't care. I want to go to the house now. Get him out of the house now. Have you taken your Prozac today? Yeah, double dose. I figured. And you don't think that's how don't you think that's how it's going to be? Larry, what do you think? There are enough schizos out there and neurotics out there that they're going to act just like that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what's sick. That's why this country we need to flush this place out. All the rest of the discussion here is, a circle jerk. It's just running around in circles, wasting our time in a situation where now it's, defecate or get off the pot, as they say. You better fight hard. We're not going to be home by Christmas. And we're going to miss a bunch of other Christmases, so to speak. Unless you're wounded, you might get back home, or you're fighting in your area of operation and it's your backyard. Congratulations. And that's not good. But guess what? It's better than the other option, because look at what they're talking about. You are right now, they're telling and laughing their ass off. This Fauci character, he needs to be dragged out. His ass needs to be hung, because he's just smirking at this country.
Well, remember, but Dad, it's Trump's fault because Trump didn't take it too seriously at the beginning. Well, remember, Fauci didn't take it too seriously at the beginning either, and supposedly he was the expert.
Oh, they knew exactly what how much can they, it's like everybody says, how much can they get away with?
It's like you have to quarantine, you have to be isolated, you can't be by your family members. But when this whole thing started, remember what we said about quarantine? There's a proper way to do it. Well, you know what? We just have to let these people into the country. I mean, what would you do if it was your family member? We figured we would want them close to us anyway, and we would take the risk. That's what it's just like we've said about all of these diseases.
If you seriously thought you had something in your own heart, you would choose to do it out of an intelligent process. My biggest problem is that not our people, but a bunch of these people that are out here are 2-year-olds in adult bodies. And the more I watch people in more recently here, the like I said, I'm not joking. The multi-step conditioning is neurotic, hypochondriac with paranoid tendencies, but constantly, working upon and virtually rubbing the sores of their illusion. This is the problem we've got, people, is that, what gets me is more, every time whenever I see this, there's a simple solution. Tell the asshats to go over there that want to wear the face bra, and we'll all walk around and do our normal thing without the idiots. But, misery loves company. And so the ring knockers, and I've been fascinated by this while listening to some people. They're so terrified, in fact, they're virtually listening to every order from the governor, Greta Bruce Jenner, or whichever governor you have, which, by the way, Trump could end their bullshit in 15 seconds by signing off and eliminating his War Powers Act scam that he signed. But just like the bump stock ban, it was all planned, and that's the reality of what they all want. Trump wants it, Biden wants it, and that's why they're letting it go. It can be stopped in 15 minutes. Here's what's happened. Okay, let's back this up for a second. We got enough time. In 1933, under the War Powers Act, the Fed did not have the authority to do what it did, and the Corporation of the United States declared war under the War Powers Act against the American people, the true organic constitution of these United States, and all the properties and all of the holdings of all of you thereof. You were declared as war booty by the international kosher/Jewish bankers. FDR's job was to jam that down everybody's throat by the same way they're doing we don't care whether or not you're going to recount. We're just going to go ahead and make this other guy president. The communist is going to be president, so the communists can ram this down your throat. In that respect, this BS is just like 1932-33. Now, in the process in 1933, the War Powers Act, the Gold Act, and the Gun Control Act were all shoved in there simultaneously. When they declared war, they needed conspirators. They needed officers at the not regional government level because they didn't have that yet, not the way they wanted. So instead, the governors of all the respective lodges, oy vey, oy vey, oy vey, or oye, 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 what they did is the governors signed on as officers of the Corporation of Michigan, the Corporation of New York, the Corporation of Florida, as extension foreclosure officers. This is where all the state police pigs come from. All those pieces of trash and excrement and filth. Because they didn't exist before, but they needed an enforcement arm to foreclose on the states as newly formed corporate booty. And so they mobilized state militia units, in some cases that were governor's guard, like the state police, that's where they come from. They were told that there is no Constitution, there is no Bill of Rights, you have no Bill of Rights, and they do pump that into the head of these idiots at their academies, each one respectively, that you are property of the state. Now, what you are seeing now is the direct expression of that, and that piece of crap in the White House right now, Donald Trumpet, signed this garbage to give these governors the power that all of them knew, that I just explained to you. They all know, but you're not supposed to, how this game is played, and that's how they're moving on you right now, because they are acting against you as foreclosed upon war booty. And all of this centers around the War Powers Act of 1933, a betrayal by the corporation and by these dirty lodge whores and these synagogue whores against the American people, which are, oh my God, you can't say that more. Yeah, I just did. Because that's the turds that are doing this to you. A minority of turds are doing this to you. You can't have 6 people at your prison table for Thanksgiving. You can't have 4 people at your prison Christmas dinner. Because we'll change the numbers. Only 4. And you have to select who you want to exclude, not include, because include is a given. You now have to be like the de facto extension of the corporation, and you need to point a finger at your family members and say, puck you, puck you, puck you too, puck you, I don't like you very much either, and don't even show up at the door, I'll have the cops come and get you. Oh, look, we got the idiot family members to betray the other family members. Oh, this is perfect communist police state 101. Isn't that wonderful? All of the armies of Asia and Europe cannot by force of arms take a drink from the Ohio River, nor lay a track upon the Blue Ridge Mountains. If this nation is to fall, it shall fall first from treachery from within, and then force of arms from without. That's the real statement in completion, not the shortened version. All of the armies of Asia and Europe cannot by force of arms take a drink upon the Ohio River, nor lay a track upon the Blue Ridge Mountains. If this nation is to fall, it shall fall first from treachery from within, and then force of arms from without. Any dirty pig shows up to tell you what to do for the holidays needs to really be put under the ground. I have no use for any of this gutter trash anymore. Oh, Blue Lives! This Blue Lives Matter scam was brought up by the same shysters that are screwing you from the other end so that we create confusion. I am not supposed to be kowtowing to them. They work for us. No, they don't. They work for somebody else. They work for the War Power. They work for the Lodge. They work for the synagogue. They seem to work for anybody but you or me. Have you noticed that? And we're always the first perceived enemy. So you know what? Piss off. It's time for a new country. A real American-run country. And that means getting rid of their ass. That's it. They've finished it. They've done. There's no... How can you come back for... See, this, when they tell you they want to kill you, when they openly tell you they want to kill you, oh, don't take that too seriously. I know we sided with these people who said they want to kill all the white people and kill all the white families and kill all you white men and kill you and you and you and kill you. And we sided with them, but we really weren't too serious. Oh, I see. But they're serious and they want to kill us. Well, yeah. But we only did it because, well, we were trying to gain power and suck up to them because we thought we could use them to kill you. But it's not working quite the way they wanted, so now they're like, oh, can you forget all of that? I will never forget that. Will you? How are you gonna turn your brain off to this? I'd love for anyone out there listening, I want you to tell me how you're going to turn your brain off to what they've done over this last year, especially, and what they have said. And they have been blatant and in your face about it. You tell me how you're going to turn your brain off to that. I hear the music. We're going to go. God bless the Republic.
Death eternal to the New World Order.
We shall prevail, ladies and gentlemen. The Empire is on the run.
We're on the march, both day and night.
Hoorah. Larry, thank you for being there, sir.
Thank you, Mark.
God bless you all. Again, we will rise again, but we're going to have to fight to get it done. Organize, arm, equip, and train as militia. I'm going to get all the way. Ear candy here you all need to pay attention to. We'll be back tomorrow, same time. More live radio coming up.